Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here today with Patrick from Caliban to talk about Zeitgeister, new record out May 14th on Century Media Records. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Did I do an okay job?
You did very well. Zeitgeister, very well.
All right, that's good, that's good. So the first question that I have for you about this record is, do you feel like this album is some sort of a greatest hits, or is it more of a biography of the band?
Probably more like a biography. I think the songs we have chosen are very, very well known in the past, because that was were some of our hits, like back in the days where we were like more acting like a smaller hardcore band. Yeah, but I think, yeah, probably some hits in a biography.
So it feels more like a biography to you. When did you guys come up with the concept of this record? And how long did it take you from going from the idea to actually, okay, let's go into the studio, we're ready to do this?
The idea came when Mark and Andy had an interview with a different, like a few years back, when we covered Sonne of Rammstein. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were like, okay, the German language in your music is like fitting very well. So maybe you have to think about releasing more German songs. But we were like, no, we don't want to, because we're like touring worldwide and we just want to have this maybe as a fun part in our albums. And then we were thinking about, and so we had like Dein Reich, the first German English song on I Am Nemesis. And a lot of people were like, hey, this is so great. So think about it. And it took like a few years now. And a lot of people were talking about this. And yeah, then we had this pandemic coming up, like Corona. And we were like, okay, we wanted to have like a break for a year. And then Corona showed up and we were like, okay, what's going on now? So what should we do? We can't tour, so we are not really ready to release an album because we want to put out an album and do a tour as well. Mm-hmm. And so we decided like to do nothing. But then it was really boring after a few months. And we were like, okay, what can we do? Like, we are now having a break of almost 2 years. So let's tell the people that we are still alive and that Caliban is still together and raging and want to do something. And then we were talking like on Zoom meetings and stuff like, okay, what can we do? What should we do? And Andy and Mark were like, hey, what do you think about like having a more like German songs? Let's do something with this, because like a few songs in German on an EP or album is something special for this time we have now, because we are in a really, really special time as well. And so, yeah, we were like brainstorming about this, and yeah, we put everything pretty fast together. And yeah, maybe it took like 6 months now to do everything, recording and do the lyrics and decide what songs. Yeah.
Once you guys figured out that this is what you wanted to do during this pandemic, create a record, like reinvent some of these songs, bring them out with new life, with new approach, with new vocals, because now they're in German. So it almost feels like you're listening to a completely new song. How was the creative process behind that aspect? How did you guys work the finer details, considering that there's a pandemic as well? So it's not like you have the same ability to get together as you did in the past.
Of course. Yeah, it's like, luckily Mark has his own studio back home. And he was writing the music because he was like, okay, let's do something more fresh for the old hardcore songs. Let's do it a little bit more like 21 Caliban style. And he was like sending via email and Dropbox and everything, all the music, and we were programming some drums on it and decided, okay, how it feels, what can we do? I think the hardest part was for Andy, because it's very, very hard to put like English lyrics. He likes it to write in English because English sounds more easy and more smooth than the harsh German language, you know. And it was really, really hard to transform the lyrics from English to German, because now it's our native language and we have so many more options to tell a word, to say a word, you know. And so you have to find how it sounds good and smooth and in the melodic and everything. And I think that was like the hardest part for Andy and our producer, like to put this into German language.
Musically, did you guys have similar challenges? Because I felt like the songs, while having the roots in the past, they're brand new tracks. So was there any specific challenges musically outside of that issue with the German language?
No. I think because Mark is our main songwriter and he's like doing music-wise like 95% by himself. And he was in that feeling. He was like, okay, I'm ready to do some new Caliban, but we decided not to release really new songs besides of Nichts. Yeah. This is one new track. And I think Nichts would be like the music when we would write a new album right now. So he was feeling this and he transformed this new feelings, this new a style he had now coming up in his mind for the old songs. And I think it wasn't that hard for him to translate the old songs into new songs.
You mentioned the language thing, and I find it really interesting because I feel like with the aggression that this record has, the German language matches perfectly because it comes across so like almost more brutal. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I totally feel the same. Of course, German is my native language. But when I listen to this brutal songs Mark wrote, and then this German language in it, it's so hard. It's so brutal and so depressive and punching. I think that worked out very well.
Yeah, like I don't understand a word you guys are saying, but I want to break shit up. Like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, it just gives me like this extra kick. Like, I just want to break stuff around me. Like, I don't know what you guys are saying, but I'm with you 100%. That's how it comes across. So when you think about the English side of Caliban, if you will, and now you see the German side of Caliban, what do you see the positives and the negatives from those two sides? Is this something that you guys will perhaps try to incorporate more, or this was just a fun one-off thing that will stay as that?
I'm not sure. Probably when we will write another album, probably we will write another one or two German tracks, because we see the response for Zeitgeister right now in the media and the press and everything. And everybody who listened to it already, they are like the same like you. They are like, I don't understand anything what you guys telling, but exactly the same like you. But I want to break shit up. This is so brutal. The German language is so
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, it's a fun thing to see, because we were writing English songs like for the last 25 years, and we were touring with this worldwide. But I think it's a funny thing to see that the world, or the fans in the world, are still with us, even when we sing German. I think it's like probably maybe the same when you listen to Rammstein. You know, music-wise, it's okay. It's like marching on. But his lyrics and the German language is so hard, and you see all the soldiers and everything, you know.
I think the world is a big place, but it's becoming smaller and smaller. And I don't think that fans these days put barriers on language in terms of what they gravitate towards a band or not. Because even though, like I said, even though I don't understand, the aggression that you guys put in the songs comes across, perhaps even more. It feels like there's more aggression, that there's more anger, that there's more violence, if you will, and these songs on this record.
Yeah, it's probably because the whole situation we are in now for 1.5 years is like that. You, of course, have this aggression and this feeling and this feeling you don't know where it's going to, what is happening next year, what is happening in 2 years. Will we be on a stage again? You know, like in Europe or especially Germany, it's so far away to think about concerts. Okay, of course, when I see Russia or maybe New Zealand or maybe the States, there are shows are coming up again. But Germany is so far away and everybody is so fucked up with it, because this is what we are doing for 25 years now. We are doing this professional now for 20 years. This is our income. This is everything. And that was taken away by this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
and probably this is the reason why this songs and this album is like so brutal and so pissed off.
And you guys picked 7 tracks. I mean, you guys have a lot of material to pick from. Yes. Were these the first 7 that you guys thought about, or there was other ones in the race, but these ones finished a little bit ahead of everybody else?
Yeah, we were talking about like, okay, so let's cover up ourselves. What should we do? What songs should we choose? And I think the whole band was pretty sure that we don't want to like put out songs that are 2 years old or 3 years old. So we were not talking about Paralyzed or We Are the Many or anything. We said, okay, we have so many albums, and of course the older tracks are very like somewhere in a basket, you know, like not having this attention anymore, because we are writing new music and we have new songs coming up and stuff. We said, okay, a lot of people are asking still for older tracks to play live. And we said, okay, maybe we should do something with this. So we said, okay, let's do like the oldest album we covered. I think it's The Undying Darkness in 2004 or 2005, I'm not sure. And we said, okay, let's go way back and cover the old hits of Caliban, you know. So yeah, that was the main reason. And we choose these 7 songs, yeah.
Looking at the record now, going from the beginning all the way to the end, the record has great playability. And I really enjoyed that intro that you guys put at the beginning. It has a little bit of a cinematic feel to it. It's almost like you're watching a movie, and it's that first scene, that first song that sets the mood for what the rest of the movie is going to be about. Is that what you guys wanted with that intro? Because if it is, you guys nailed it.
Yeah, the intro is an intro from A Small Boy in a Grey Heaven. It's like Romeo and Juliet. And of course, we pimped it a little bit more and put it more into this cinematic thing. And yeah, I think we nailed it, because the intro is totally showing you in the first 1.5 minutes what is coming up now.
Yeah, exactly. And then from what comes after that, how difficult it was for you guys, because I felt that the album has great fluidity. From that intro all the way to the last song, it's an album that doesn't give you pauses. It doesn't give you a chance for you to walk away, go do something else, and then come back to it. You want to listen to the album, and you want to listen all the way to the end. So how much work did it go in putting these songs in the order that they're in order to create that continuous motion that the record has?
Yeah, it's like the same way when you choose the order for albums. You know, you're listening to the songs 10 times, 20 times. Then you have that feeling, okay, this song has to be like the second one or third one, because now it feels like it's going to the next level again and stuff. That this is not that we have an algorithm or something like this. It's like just a feeling, just listening to the songs and say, okay, this has to be the next one, because it pushes you and it brings you all the way to the last song.
Is it an important part of the process for you guys to have that fluidity? You don't want the albums to feel like they're chunky, like they're
of course. Now it was a little bit easier because we have only like 8 songs. When you have albums with 12, 13, 14 songs, it's more difficult. And of course you have some songs where you say, okay, maybe they are not like the strongest, so let's put them in between. But it's like the thing is like you have to start with a good one and you have to end with a good one. It's like on a live show, you know, the intro and the first two songs has to be like the bone breakers. Then you can like let the people chill a little bit more, and to the end you have like the next kick down, you know.
I agree with you. I have you on, so I have to talk about drums. Now, I felt like the drums on this record were one of the spinal cords, if not the spinal cord of the album. Did you approach it differently for these songs?
No. Mark was like programming the drums, and he gave me all the files and stuff, and I had to see what's going on, and is this still my style, where I want to go and stuff. And so we were working on the drums, and of course I listened to a lot of music in private, and I have different drummers I listen to and what I like. And of course I have my own style after like 35 years being a drummer. But of course, sometimes I pick some little cool things from friends and stuff. And
you borrow.
But the work was pretty much the same like we do for every album. So all the musicians try to invent something new and make it like not too boring, like to sound the same like the other album.
Now, one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite drums on a song is in My Inferno. I love that track, and I love how the drums sound on that song. So powerful. Can you give me a little bit of behind the scenes on how that track came together, and how do you feel towards that song?
Yeah, how do I feel? It's like we do, you know. I never got a teacher on playing drums, you know. I did everything by myself, and this is what I always say. It's like I have to feel a song, and when I see and feel it, how it goes and how it should be, you know, I see all the guitars and see like the programming, and I feel how to do it, and I tried to get this input into this song. And when I see like my guys being like this, I see I'm on the right way, you know. But there's no specific way I do my drums. I have to feel it, and sometimes it's when I close my eyes, you see it, how it has to be, how it fits together.
It becomes almost more an emotional experience.
Of course, yeah, in 100%. There's nothing technical, no think about, okay, but now this is that part, it has to be like this. It's how I feel it and what I think it's the best for this moment.
Does that allow you to have some freedom when it comes to the live shows and when it comes for you performing some of these songs live? Do you give yourself a little bit of room to experiment a little bit?
Of course, yeah. You know, okay, Caliban is this kind of music. It's not a jazz band where you can do whatever you want to do. Of course, we have our things going. But of course, yes, when I feel like this, I do it a little bit different. You know, sometimes I have different thoughts in my head, and I play it like this, or I choose this or that, or this is like the music, the freedom we have, because it's our music and we can do whatever we want to do.
Mm-hmm. One last question for you. With the album around the corner, May 14th, Century Media, Zeitgeister is out. Caliban is on the scene, arriving with this record, with this biography, like we said at the beginning, with this biography. As you look forward beyond that, what do you see the future for Caliban?
I don't know about the future, but when I talk to my guys, of course, everybody is so hungry, like playing music. We are doing this now for 25 years, and we are in this constellation now since 2004. You know, we had no change within the band, a member or anything. Everybody wants this baby keep going on, this train rolling, you know. And I don't know what we are doing now with Zeitgeister, but of course, if there is any chance to play a show or do anything, we would do this. And if not, then we have to wait to that day where we can tour again. And yeah, we want to play music.
There
will be another album coming. There will be hopefully another tour coming, and we are hungry for it, for the stage and the people.
Yeah, and the fans are hungry for it as well. I can tell you that much. Like, we can't wait.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm super stoked about this.
Yeah, well, Patrick, thank you very much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. All the best to you and the guys. All the best with the release on May 14th on Century Media. I love the record. Job well done, and all the best.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Take care, man.